Peace and welcome, my friends. Can you believe that a team with Bellingham, Valverde, and Mbappe can sometimes look like a side simply trying to escape its own half? A wild 1-1 draw, but this was never just about dropping 2 points. This felt like a cold slap in the middle of a title race that shows absolutely no mercy. Real Madrid came into this game knowing that any slip-up here would not just hurt the table. It would be a golden gift to Barcelona at the most critical stage of the season. On the other side, Real Betis arrived with a completely different mindset. They were not playing just for a point. They came to test Madrid's character itself. Arbeloa started with what looked like a flexible 4-3-3 that could shift into a 4-4-2 during pressing phases. The idea was clear: reduce space, create midfield density, and then punish Betis quickly through transitions, using Vinicius and Diaz, with Mbappe leading the line. On paper, it looked logical, but football is not played on paper. It is played under pressure. And from almost the very first minute, that plan started to collapse. Real Betis gave Madrid absolutely no comfort, building from the back. Their press was high, aggressive, and incredibly organized. Every passing lane was blocked, every angle was closed. Suddenly, Madrid's front line looked completely disconnected from the game. Vinicius, Mbappe, and Bellingham, huge names, but without supply, big names become nothing more than shirts running around. Mbappe was the biggest victim. A striker who thrives on space and vertical passes suddenly found himself dropping deep into midfield just to touch the ball. Every step backward meant one step further from goal. Every time he received possession far from the box, Betis had already won that battle. This is where Manuel Pellegrini showed his genius. His 4-2-3-1 defensive structure was built to kill the half spaces and close the exact zones where Bellingham and Valverde love to operate. The lines were so compact that Madrid looked like they were trying to play football inside a locked elevator. Every touch was under pressure. Every pass felt like a trap. And then came the midfield duo, Sofiane Amrabat and Álvaro Fidalgo. Honestly, this match was a public announcement of their dominance. There were long stretches where they were touching the ball in advanced areas, more than Bellingham, Valverde, and Mbappe combined. That tells you everything. Amrabat looked like a man on a personal mission. Every duel felt personal. Every second ball looked like a fight for survival. His physicality and timing slowly drained Madrid's confidence. Fidalgo, meanwhile, was the calm brain behind the storm. Smart positioning, clean passing, and an incredible ability to switch play without panic. These are not players built by statistics alone. These are players made for big nights. The clearest victim was Jude Bellingham. The Englishman usually lives inside the half spaces, but against Betis, he found no oxygen there. He kept dropping deeper and deeper, just to get involved, but every step backward made him less dangerous. Suddenly, Madrid looked like a team with no real connection between midfield and attack. Then came the injuries, and they made everything worse. No Courtois, no Militao, no Tchouaméni. That is not just missing players. That is losing your spine. Courtois gives security. Militao gives aggression. Tchouaméni gives balance. Lose all three, and you lose identity. Arbeloa had to rely on younger players, and Betis targeted that immediately. Every attempt to build from the back had hesitation written all over it. One extra touch, one delayed pass, and then a desperate clearance into nowhere. Madrid looked like a team entering a gladiator arena, without armor. Meanwhile, Pellegrini handled Betis' own absences with calm authority. Nathan, Bartra, and Ricardo Rodriguez looked completely comfortable. No panic, no fear, just cold composure. While Madrid's defense looked nervous, Betis' backline looked like they already knew how the night would end. The numbers reflected that. Betis had 52% possession and completed 578 passes with 91% accuracy. This was not meaningless possession, this was control of rhythm. Every pass had purpose. They constantly targeted the space between fullback and center back, stretching Madrid mentally more than physically. Madrid, meanwhile, only managed 87% passing accuracy and just 150 passes into the final third. For a team with Mbappe and Vinicius, that is shocking. The problem was not finishing attacks. The problem was reaching them at all. And then we arrive at the biggest tactical collapse of the night. Alexander-Arnold's side. Honestly, Trent had one of his worst nights. Betis identified that zone as the breaking point from the start. Abdes Al-Zuli was relentless, speed, dribbling, and total fearlessness in one-on-one situations. Trent looked half a second late in every decision, and at this level, half a second is a disaster. He lost possession 27 times. 27. That is not just a bad state, it explains the collapse of Madrid's right side. Arbeloa's only solution was sacrificing Valverde, turning him from an attacking engine into a full-time firefighter behind Trent. That was a complete tactical win for Pellegrini. And yet, this is still Real Madrid. They can be the worst team for 90 minutes and still punish you with one moment. In the 17th minute, that happened. Valverde pass, Vinicius run, goal. Simple. Brutal. Efficient. Betis were controlling the match, but Madrid only need one open door. Pellegrini's high defensive line left too much space behind, and against Vinicius, that is like leaving your front door open and acting surprised when someone walks in. One mistake broke the offside trap. Vinicius ran, received, and finished with ice-cold composure. That goal should have broken Betis mentally. Instead, it made them angrier. Their response was immediate. No panic. No emotional collapse, just more courage. The ball started moving again, the pressure returned, and Lunin was back to work. This is also where Mbappe's difficult night turned into complete disappearance. Pellegrini simply took away the game Mbappe loves. No open space, no clean transitions, no isolated races, just constant pressure and defenders glued to him. A 5.4 rating was not harsh, it was accurate. Meanwhile, Vinicius got an 8.8 because he used the one moment that mattered. That is the difference between presence and impact. The numbers tell the same story. Betis had 19 shots but only 1.08 by G. Madrid had 12 shots and reached 1.0 by G. Quantity does not mean quality. Most of Betis' shots came from poor angles because Madrid's low block forced them there. But Betis had something else. Persistence. 17 interceptions, excellent reading of transitions, and smart tactical fouls to kill counterattacks before they started. Sometimes the best defending is not winning the ball, it is stopping the attack before it exists. Madrid started to fade. More clearances, less concentration, more panic. Their defense stopped playing to win and started playing just to survive. And then came minute 94. One mistake. 1 second of lost awareness. Lo Celso, the perfect substitute, reads it instantly. Final pass. Hector Bellerin finishes. Equalizer. A late knife to the heart, but a deserved one. This goal was not luck. It was the natural result of 90 minutes of tactical and psychological pressure. Álvaro Valles also deserves huge credit. 7 crucial saves kept Betis alive. Every save was a message to his teammates. We are still in this. Modern goalkeepers do not just protect the goal, they protect belief. Pellegrini also won from the bench. His substitutions were surgical. Lo Celso changed everything. 1 assist, 1 massive impact. Meanwhile, Arbeloa's substitutions felt too defensive. Alaba, Camavinga, good players, but the message was clear. Protect the lead. And when you spend the final minutes trying to protect a 1-goal advantage under constant pressure, you usually write your own painful ending. The final whistle did not just confirm a draw. It delivered a golden gift to Barcelona. Madrid did not only lose 2 points, they lost part of their authority in a title race that punishes hesitation. And Betis, they did not just earn a point, they sent a message. You can have Mbappe, Vinicius, and Bellingham, but if you lose the midfield, you lose the match before it even starts. Anyway, that's just my opinion on this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Was this a tactical masterclass from Pellegrini or another serious warning sign from Madrid? Thanks for dropping by. FC Mask signing off. Catch you on the next one. Stay safe and peace out.